Christ consciousness, baby. There it is. It feels good. It's coming right out of me with no entanglement whatsoever. And I love this. I love this so much. And I want to share with you why. And you might be thinking, oh, I've been there a long time. Or you might be poked like I was poked when people would talk about Christ consciousness. It has to do with my relationship with Christianity and with Jesus. When I was a very small kid, I heard about Jesus and what he was doing, and I thought, that's the way. And I was like, love this guy. And then I'm watching Christians acting the way that they are acting, and I'm going, that doesn't seem to add up. And this is a very young age. We're talking like 10, 11, 12 years old. And I started questioning the Christian church, and then I left really the teachings of the church, even though I considered myself Christian probably up until 30. And I tried going into different churches, but it was the same thing. They were somehow better than they were all better than anybody that wasn't Christian, but they were better than the other churches. And I was like, I don't think it's a competition. And so anyway, I wanted to just share that Christ consciousness is coming online, baby. That kind of lingo is coming out of me, and it's coming out freely. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about why Christ consciousness is so cool. So here it goes. Here it is. So for some reason lately, I've just kind of put that whole debate inside my head about Christianity and that kind of thing. Just let the atheists and the Christians have at each other, whatever else. And I've kind of just stayed away from talking about the Bible, talking about Christ consciousness, this kind of thing, because this was in vernacular. But I've been talking about all these other things, and all these other pieces are coming together as I'm seeing this new world being birthed. I'm seeing all these different people coming from different perspectives. And so anyway, I just wanted to share like how Jesus came online again. And it was actually weirdly about quantum. And I haven't even thought of that term for a long time. It kind of started out, my interest in spirituality was quantum mechanics. And I was like, oh, science is going to match up with spirituality. Then I just kind of threw it away. And I was just like, oh. So I see people posting stuff about quantum mechanics. And I'm like, ah. And then one day I'm out in the desert. And I just said, quantum is all around us. What is quantum? It's just superposition. It is just potential everywhere. And then I thought, how do we tap into it? How do we tap into the quantum then? Because I want to know tangibly, how do I do that? And I figured it out. It's wonder. When I look at a tree, I need to look at the tree differently. I need to be like children. Jesus said, I tell you, if you do not become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So what is he saying? He is saying wonder. Rediscover wonder. Rediscover the part of your mind that had divergent thinking when you were a child, that got educated out of you in a society that decided individualism was the way. The analytical mind, the judgment mind of status and pushing up people up against each other. Get rid of that mind, go back to that divergent mind, bring that back into the present moment, and then you start to see things from in a different way. The possibilities start to be there all the time, and we're tapping in through our senses. And so there's the quantum. And then I was thinking, then that brought up another quote that was really important to me. Judge not lest he be judged himself. So, what is that? That's simply a non-dual experience. He's saying that part of your mind, the judgmental part, is not you. It is just one aspect of our minds. And when we quiet that aspect of our minds, these other things start to happen. We start opening up the mind for creativity, for the quantum world to start to appear, a magical world, not one of a materialistic nature where we have to try to beat at the world to make it, to try to control it, but we work with it and we would live in harmony with it. And then I was speaking to a Christian. I was so excited. It was one of my friends that grew up much heavier into Christianity than I was, and has left the church and had a lot of tough feelings about it. And I was explaining, I was like, Jesus was a non-dual quantum teacher. And I was explaining the wonder part, and he said, oh my gosh, that makes me think of another Bible verse, which is or not a Bible verse, but a part of the Bible where Jesus was walking along and all these people were pawing him at him. And then there was this woman who grabbed him, who was healed immediately. And Jesus turned around and said, who touched me? And she responded, it was me. And he said, I felt it. I felt the power come through me. And it was through your faith. So that makes me understand, like I'm starting to understand healing. Like I didn't that was so abstract. I could not understand how somebody could call themselves a healer. And I'm starting to understand how. I don't know that I would call myself a healer, but I understand better how it works. And now I am starting to have manifestations with healing of other people. But it is a collaboration. It is not me. We have free will here. So it is not me. It has to be collaborative. That means if I hold a certain frequency, it's for that person. It's up to that person if they want to meet there. So when Jesus says face, that's what I'm saying, that if you are going to somebody that you feel that can heal you, or they're resonating at a higher resonance, then you can simply use their resonance to resonate on it. You kind of got to get out of your way for a second and say, hey, I got to get outside of myself, allow this and trust this comes through. And then that healing aspect comes in. So Christ consciousness is like so real, and it's so amazing. And it's like, what makes me so excited is that there are lots of people who have this and they understand this. And I know a lot of people are on the fence within Christianity and that's the kind of thing. But what is great is that what was good about the Christian church is that there is a lot of love. There is a lot of expression. There is a lot of connecting with the heart of Jesus. And so that is like, to me, that's a huge jumping off point. And once you realize that Jesus wasn't saying, be a follower of me, what Jesus was saying, and he said it, you will do greater things than I have ever done. And he was saying, I've been doing some really cool stuff. I figured this stuff out, and you guys are going to be passing these things along, and you're going to do even grander miracles than I ever did. But if people are looking up at Jesus, they're not getting it. And that's the interesting thing. So for me, it's all coming online. Quantum, healing, angels speaking through us, channeling. All of these things are coming online simply by being more present, by tampering down that judgmental aspect within myself, beginning to trust deeply the sensations that come through me. And the same thing can happen for anybody else. And that's the cool thing about this, is that anybody has this. They can do it. They just need to decide. That's why I say you can stay in Paradigm A, and it's cool, no judgment. You guys are going to do your judgment thing over there, and you're going to judge me, but that's cool. Like, I don't care, because I'm in B. I'm doing this B world. I'm doing the Christ consciousness thing. I'm doing the quantum thing. I'm doing the healing thing. I'm doing the unconditional love thing. Yay! I just wanted to share that with you guys.